So the last video I did was of my buddy Jason's Fortin Evil Pumpkin that he graciously let me borrow and test out. Doing that demo, I dialed it in the way that I thought it sounded well and didn't use any of Jason Frankhouser's settings. So I thought I'd hold myself accountable here and do a fun shootout. In the manual that is supplied with the Fortin Evil Pumpkin, Jason gives his recommended settings for each one of the channels. So what I did is I loaded my settings and Jason's settings into individual captures within the quad cortex that I use for gigging, and I thought we'd do a fun shootout on the channel and see what you guys think. So just as far as my signal path goes, I'm using this 2005, I believe, Les Paul standard, just a standard Les Paul, no modifications. I'm using my Neural DSP quad cortex into my KSR PA50 power amp. That is all running into the aux box into Luna, just the same way that I captured the Fortin Evil Pumpkin when I did the demo before. So that's kind of what I have. Simple setup again. There is a noise gate running within the neural, or I should say the quad cortex, just like I had it with the Evil Pumpkin before with the Zool. I'm just using the quad cortex's noise gate, which is really great. If you have a quad cortex, the utility gate is one of my favorite features, especially for a lot of high gain applications. So let's see how I did. Okay, so some thoughts on those channels. So I really enjoyed Jason's settings. I think they add a little bit more mids and some richness to the tones. Mine I felt were more chimey. Maybe that's just because I'm used to playing more tellies and strats, and I have a lot more brightness when I typically play with the bands I play with. So it was really interesting to compare the two, and I like them both equally. I would actually, if I was recording, I would probably use both of those, one on channel 1 and one on channel 2, to have the combination of both tones. So let's move on to channel 2 now. So some thoughts on the comparisons between our two channel 2s. I like Jason's channel 2 much better in the bridge position than mine. I noticed in his settings, he really cranked the bass control up quite a bit. Like he was probably in the 7 or 8 range per the settings, per the manual, where I was more at a 6 in that. So definitely more bass. What I will say though is that I did like my patch more towards the middle and the bass humbuckers. Again, that could be because I'm used to playing a lot of strats and tellies versus a lot of humbucker bass guitars when I gig. So I'm used to a more bright, more trebly tone when I play in that. So that could be it, but I really liked Jason's settings, and I think he beat me out on channel 2 in my opinion. So let's go to channel 3. So some final thoughts on the differences between Jason and my settings. I really liked Jason's. I really liked mine. Again, I would probably put them together in a recording situation, but it's really neat to hear the differences between how someone else interprets tones versus yourself. And I learned a lot from Jason's tone selection. I really loved how he sculpted the tones for the bridge pickup. And I hope to take some of those ideas and modify my tones within the quad cortex to make my patches even more rich from what I have currently, or maybe do that for certain types of guitars. So if I'm using like my Dimebag inspired guitars or my Les Pauls, I think that those patches would work really well with those scenarios. So Jason, amazing job. Love the amplifier. Hope you check out this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well on how you think I did with my patches. But thanks for watching, and until the next video.